Yo, 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 what is up, y'all? My name is Robert Donaldson, and welcome back to another edition of Rob's Best Bets. And in this episode, we are once again talking about Major League Baseball, and our season started very, very strong on Thursday. We brought in a little bit over 6 units, and that's exactly where we want to be sitting. And heck, man, the Tigers made it real interesting. We pushed on the +1, missed out on our little money line stab with them, but I really did feel like they were competitive. It felt like the right side of the bet, or at least the betting angle to that game, and just a really phenomenal day of baseball if you're a fan of the sport as well. There were walk-offs, there were comebacks, there were just intriguing matchups across the board. Really awesome, but MLB TV, man, step it up. You can't just be down for an hour in the heat of all these first pitches. And yeah, that's my only gripe that happened with opening day. But at the same time, really strong start. Really love this Friday slate, and I'm excited to jump into those picks. But first, we do need to take a second to shout out today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. And if you haven't already signed up at Underdog Fantasy using promo code ROBDFB, I highly recommend you do so. Fantastic platform, especially this time of year when NBA, Major League Baseball, college basketball are all happening all at once. But with all that being said, y'all, I am so jacked and so excited to hop into these Friday bets. All right, first up, we are taking a look at that first game on the slate between the Rockies and the Rays. And I have no idea why the Rockies and Rays didn't play on MLB opening day. Maybe you guys can inform me as to why they just decided to skip out on it. They were the only two teams in all of Major League Baseball that bounced on the opening day start time and decided to start their season on Friday. But here we are, Rockies-Rays. We got Kyle Freeland taking on Ryan Pepiot. And Kyle Freeland is a guy that over the past, 3, 4, maybe even 5 years now has kind of just been a shellacking machine for the other team. And that's because he deals with hard hit rates. He walks a lot of batters as well. And when you are looking at Kyle Freeland, I don't think that he's a matchup advantage against this Rays lineup either. Now, Ryan Pepiot on the other side also deals with a lot of issues in terms of allowing hard contact. And for those reasons, I look at that 7.5 total as being, very shy, very low in comparison to the starters we have on the bump here. So let's go ahead and take the over of 7.5 runs for 2 units for our first bet here on Friday. For pick number 2, we are taking a look at a game here between the Orioles and the Blue Jays. And yesterday on opening day, we were on the Blue Jays money line, and they got shellacked on opening day. But the great thing about Major League Baseball, there's 162 games in a season, or at least the regular season, and it's very easy to compartmentalize losing by 10 runs, once every 30 games. And I do feel like the Blue Jays have enough offensive firepower to bounce back in this game. They also have the better pitcher in this matchup with Kevin Gausman, and Charlie Morton. He's just kind of one of those guys that's been hanging on over the past couple years now, just barely. He's kind of been, a shell of his former self, but still pitching well enough to retain a job in this business. And when you are looking at this game, I absolutely love the Toronto Blue Jays on the money line, and let's go ahead and bet it for 2.5 units. And for an additional 1 unit, let's go ahead and lay a whole -1 on the Blue Jays here as well. For pick number 3, we are taking a look at a matchup here between Pittsburgh and Miami. And Miami walked off on Pittsburgh here on Thursday on MLB opening day, and it was a fantastic game. They also got it done against David Bednar, which is pretty significant given that Bednar is a fantastic closer. But when you are looking at this game here, and you're looking at Gillespie taking on Mitch Keller, I could not have drawn up a more lopsided pitching duel on game 2 of the entire season than this one right here. What we've seen from Gillespie has not been good. He has been getting tagged. He doesn't go deep into games, and he's going up against a guy on the other side of Mitch Keller who has looked really impressive over the past couple years now. And I really do believe the Pirates end up getting revenge in this game. So let's go ahead and take them on the money line here for 3 units for our third bet here on Friday. All right, next up, we are taking a look at a matchup here between the Mets and the Astros. And man, you know, the Mets coming into the year, I knew that they had a bad rotation, even with, you know, getting Kodai Senga back into the mix. But starting Tyler McGill right after started Clay Holmes on game number 1 just feels bizarro world. I mean, Tyler McGill is, you know, very league average, if not below league average in terms of his abilities. And he is a number 2 starter in the Mets rotation, or at least the guy that you're throwing out there on game number 2 of the season. I don't get it. But Hunter Brown on the other side is a K's machine. I also really do think that he's a candidate to really break out and emerge as a true top-end rotation guy this season. And they're laying a favorable number here, or at least getting a fair money line price, in my opinion. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and jump on it for 2 units for our fourth bet here on Friday. For pick number 5, we are taking a look at a matchup here between the A's and the Mariners. And we look at Seattle's rotation. My goodness, dude. Elite from top to bottom. And they have one of their horses going tomorrow in Luis Castillo. And it's going to be a night game in Seattle. There's definitely a weather factor at play as well, where the temperatures are not going to be up there. We're sitting around 50 degrees is kind of what I'm seeing on the AccuWeather app. And when you are looking at it from that element, and also factoring in that T-Mobile is just a pitcher's-friendly ballpark in general, I really do zero in on the A side, and specifically on the A side, the team total. And right now, they have a team total that's sitting at 3.5. I say we go ahead and take the under on their team total of 3.5 runs, and let's go ahead and do it for 2 units for our 5th bet here on Friday. All right, for our final bet here on Friday, we are going back to that Detroit Tigers Los Angeles Dodgers game. And if you caught the game on opening day, the Tigers looked really impressive. The Dodgers really were kind of anemic offensively, other than a 2-out home run, a 3-run bomb from Teoscar Hernandez that really did end up sealing the deal. It put them ahead by 2 at the time, and they just kind of held onto that lead, or clinged to that lead from every inning moving forward past that point. And in this game, Jack Flaherty is on the bump for the Tigers, and let me tell you, I get it. Yamamoto is a very exciting guy. He's a very talented player as well, but don't be surprised if on the right day, Jack Flaherty actually ends up being the one that outduels Yamamoto from the bump. And I get it, the Dodgers are a super team. It's hard to bet against them for a lot of people just from the mental standpoint of it, but this is where the value is in this sport, because as good as the Dodgers are, they're still going to lose, 30 to 35% of all of their games. And I do feel like this is a game that they could lose, but we don't even need to take them to lose, because right now the number is so juiced in the Dodgers' favor that we could actually take plus 1.5 with the Tigers for a reasonable number here. So let's go ahead and bet the plus 1.5 with the Detroit Tigers here for 3 units. And for an additional unit, let's go ahead and take a plus 1 stab here as well. All that being said, I really want to thank you guys for checking out today's video. And if you do want to show some love, make sure you drop a like on the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you guys comment down below. But with all that being said, y'all, I will see you in a future video. Take it easy.